guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alana here. Welcome back to 3 Degrees of Love Divination. So, I'm coming at you with a comparison video, I guess, if you will. As you can see, temporarily, I've pulled out some of my Joanna Nelson decks. If you remember, I've been using the Cosmo Beings tarot deck by Joanna Nelson and pairing it with the Everyone's an Albion When You're an Albion Too book by Johnny Sun. And that's been absolutely fabulous. But I've also since pulled out the actual and combined the decks of the Catland Oracle, also by Joanna Nelson, and I had pulled that out for Halloween season Samhain, of course, but not that I really follow or practice any Samhain practices, but for those that do, I figured, I mentioned Samhain because I feel like, it is very sort of shadowy, spooky, that kind of deal. So themed, if you will. Anyhow, but yeah, something about the messages in the guidebook, along with the idea that this was the land of the cats, I guess, if you will. And I thought, considering at the time it looked like a very spooky but cutesy type of deck that I felt just was perfect for shadow work. And I at the time wanted to have a combined oracle to go with the Cosmo Beings. So yeah, that's what that was. Anyhow, that was a long explanation for whatever reason, I guess. That I felt that I needed to share that with you. But back to, that's because I was talking about the what's here temporarily spread cloth bag, canvas bag, if you will, here that I'm using, and that's part of Joanna Nelson's collection. Anyways, and is the matching themed bag to the Oracle deck that I was just talking about. That's where I was going with that. There we go. Okay. Anyways, back to what this video is supposed to be about. And I was saying a comparison video because, so of course, if you remember, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll have it linked up in the cards, but this is the amazing Mindful Wildflower deck set by Michelle of the Mindful Wildflower. And if you haven't seen the interview / walkthrough of this entire set plus journal, please check that out. It's very it's a system for introspection, for self-reflection, managing feelings and all of that, that is geared around DBT. And if you're not sure what DBT is, if you don't remember, if you haven't seen that video, of course, or you just don't know, DBT is dialectical behavioral therapy. And so that's a system very much, not similar to, but different, relatable, I guess, if you will, to CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, but it's, of course, a different structure, if you will. Yeah. Anyways, you can always look that up if you want to know more information about that. Or check out the video, of course, like I said, that I did with the creator of this deck herself, of the Mindful Wildflower, Michelle, who, by the way, has recently started doing I guess, a sort of supportive Zoom group, if you will, using the journal. And she started that over on Instagram. The first and most recent one was done, I believe, was it last week? And that was absolutely amazing and very supportive and even very relatable with other members that were there at the time, other participants, as well as Michelle herself. Absolute sweetheart. And that was, so amazing to be a part of. And especially, at the time that it's come up, it has been very, very much like a cozy, supportive blanket, if you will, of, like-minded individuals, who really understand, what it's like to be neurodivergent, and, have a very different way of how we process information, our emotions, all of that. So it was a great thing to be a part of, and I absolutely am appreciative and looking forward to when Michelle is able to host that sort of group journaling session with her Mindful Wildflower set again. Anyways, so shout out to Michelle and thank you again so much. But anyways, so why I wanted to do this video, like I was saying, is a kind of a comparison thing. And of course, with the fact that this is a set here of 4 individual sets of cards that are actually, a couple of the decks are actually have 2 decks in one, if you will. But that's actually really cool how it's broken down this way. And I'm curious to know, those that, work with tarot, oracle, or affirmation decks and sets and whatnot. What are, do you have any sort of deck sets that are similar, that remind you of what, I'm talking about right now? Let me know. That would really be cool to know what people have been working with, know of. So, share that with me in the comments. But this is, and of course, they're very popular already in the divination tarot spirituality community, and that's Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. Sorry, and this is the Art of Affirmations deck set, and as you can see, it says "Breathe, Heal, Divine." And if you don't know, Amy Zerner and Monty Farber, they already have and I'll actually have a video of one of their decks that I did a while back when I was doing the video, and I paired this with the Gentle Tarot, not this, but another deck by these same creators here, authors, is it's an oracle deck. I forget the name, but I'll I'll pin the video up on the screen and share a picture of the deck that I'm talking about that they have. It's another art deck that looks very similar like this, and has a picture on one side and an affirmation or a message on the back. And it's absolutely beautiful. But they also have a few tarot decks and I think a few other oracle decks that they've also created. And this is published by Schiffer Redfeather. Is this? Yes. And it's a deck set that it has a slit at the top of the box that you can use for like daily pulls and things like that. So it had you know, that sort of similar feel to even the Mindful Wildflower set here. And like I said, the other video that I have that with Amy Zerner and Monty Farber's work that I was talking about in a previous video that I did, I'll have the thumbnail linked on screen and also or in the description box, of course. But yeah, and so this comes like this, very similar to how, you know, in an outer box, except this one is a magnetic. The Mindful Wildflower box is magnetic closure, whereas this one is a pull top. And top and bottom. And then it has well, of course, I'm a nerd that way. I put mine in a little baggie to preserve because it is a paper booklet, like a little white book sort of thing that it comes with. It doesn't come in the plastic, of course. That's me, my nerdiness, like I said. But so 3. And of course, you know, my number 3. So I love that. This is a 3 affirmation decks to guide you on your path. The art of affirmations. And so, you know, yep, it's red feather. Confirming that as I open the little booklet here. So it has like its own how to use the decks. So we have 36 gifts of the goddess. This is in the divine set. And then you have the heal set, another 36. Affirmations for mental, physical, and spiritual wellness. And that, you know, as you know, I'm all about that here on my channel. Of course, with therapy and tarot, right? Being the theme. Or the main theme, I should say. And then we have breathe, 36 energy exercises for your mind, body, and spirit. So I absolutely love that. And then, of course, so here are, much like the Mindful Wildflower has 4 packs of individual boxed decks, the Art of Affirmations has 3. So, yeah. And it's funny because I'm laughing because as I was talking about the Cosmo beings and the Catlan Oracle. Well, the Catlan Oracle is actually a 2-deck set that Joanna Nelson has. Let me just show you the boxes here. Okay, so somehow I heard, yeah, show them one deck set, 2 because the Catland is Oracle set is we have Catland Oracle deck, then we have Return to Catland Oracle deck. So technically that's like 2 decks, right? Mini whatever, right? Okay. And then so then as we go from 1 to 2, then we go to the Art of Affirmations with 3, up to the Mindful Wildflower with 4. And like I said, if you recall the video, it's 4 and then some, technically, because like there's 2 of the packs have, or 3 of the packs actually have decks split up into 2. So yeah, anyhow, and they're like 196 cards total in the Mindful Wildflower set, and then the Art of Affirmations has, I think, 108. So here combined. So anyway, so let me show you the Art of Affirmations. So here we have Breathe. And I'll show you what the cards look like. The box here. And then the cards themselves. So much like the other deck that I was talking about, also by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber, there's like it's pretty much the same format, except there are bigger cards and they're glossy, but they do have like the artwork on the front. I don't believe there's any writing at the top in the other deck that I'm talking about, but then there's something written on the back. So much like that, we have this here, but we have breathing. I am breathing. And then on the back, we have breathing. Breathe, I am breathing. Our breath brings us into the present moment, uniting our body, which is the sum of our past, with our mind, where we create our future. I breathe in the lightness of the clouds. I am filled with the winds they ride. I breathe out stale air and negative energy. I love that. And then we have stretching. I am stretching. So compassion. I am compassionate. Learning. I am learning. Meditation. I am meditation. I feel like this is very much along the same lines as the Mindful Wildflower, really giving you that opportunity to really reflect upon the body, bringing unification, of the mind with the body in the present moment, still having the opportunity to reflect on feelings and emotions and what are some things to do to really, especially considering that, this is, as I'm filming this, it's the 4th. So we're in and around the, approaching the, full moon in Taurus. So, that very earth energy and, opportunities for grounding even, with these cards. So, yeah, so that's really cool. That's breath or breathe. And then hang on. Come on, fit in there. There you go. Okay. And then we have, next up, we have divine. Okay. So we have body, goddess of courage. And on the back, we have body, divine. I experience my emotions and channel them into useful actions. Use this gift when passions flare or strong feelings threaten to overwhelm logic and practicality. Experience emotions honestly as they arise. Do not suppress them. The negative ones will subside over time in the light of reason and compassion for yourself and others. What you are passionate about can show you the way to change your life. I absolutely love that. And I feel like this is a very, again, very sort of relatable, like the mindful wildflower, right? In the sense of, you know, different aspects of affirmations, of body work, if you will. And, you know, and then we have another pack for heal, right? Here's another one. Here we have spirit, divine. I have faith in miracles to bless and protect me. Use this gift when life seems pointless or without hope. The realization that all things must end can sometimes make life seem not worth the effort. However, the miracles of our everyday life suggest other miracles that we are unaware of all around us. Rest assured, the goddess loves you and would not make you endure a life without meaning. And what a beautiful, beautiful reminder. I feel like this is an absolutely needed card for even me today. You know, considering, you know, some of the current recent things that I personally have going on in my life that I'm, you know, dealing with and battling with my emotions about, you know, and especially considering the type of person I am, you know, as a Hyoka empath and a neurodivergent, the way I process things, you know, mentally, you know, even physically, you know, with my emotions, you know, might be different than the average norm. You know, being accused of being too sensitive, which is not actually a bad thing, but, you know, society-wise, made to suppress our emotions, you know, you know, I was made out to feel like it was. And that has, you know, made it very difficult for me. But you know, I've been learning, going through, you know, a dark night of the soul sort of healing, you know, process, if you will, you know, and as I close out certain karmic contracts and things like that, and going through this, you know, very deep hermit mode that has been so hard because of all the other things sort of, you know, compounded onto it that I've had to deal with over the last course of 12, 13 years. You know, it's anyway, I'm not even, you know, wanting to get all the way down into that. But, you know, just that was a much needed reminder. So I absolutely love that. And that's divine. Sorry. Okay. And then we have heal. The last pack in this deck set here. You know, that's my magic number 3. So it's also my life path number. So, yeah. So yeah, and then we have, okay, so this is heal. Look, we have, first card out is exercise. Exercise, heal. I enjoy exercising my body and mind. If you are lucky enough to be able to move your body in purposeful exercise and use your mind in free inquiry, you must do so or risk becoming inflexible, weak, and unhealthy, both in thought and action. So I love that. And, you know, what a perfect card to remind me even that, you know, as much as I enjoy, you know, really getting in depth, you know, mentally speaking, you know, where that be, you know, information seeking, conversation, learning, reading, right? That kind of thing, reflection, even, also being mindful that I'm also engaging my body as well. So, you know, and one of the ways is through dance. And so really, you know, getting myself connected back with that form of movement and, you know, really connecting with my love of it, and using that too as another form for healing, in many respects. So, yeah, because especially when, you know, you suffer, or have been suffering from, you know, anxiety and depression, and it's very easy for, you know, someone who feels everything, you know, practically all the time, you know, it's very easy for, you know, neurodivergents and empaths to fall into bouts of depression, right? So mental health, wellness is so important. You know, so what a great card set too, as a reminder, to remind us of these things. We have inspiration, we have nutrition even. We have a card for forgive. Let's read forgive here. Heal. I forgive because I want to be forgiven. Seek justice and fully process all wrongs done to you. But when you awake, forgive everyone you can think of, including yourself. All humans are flawed and need forgiveness. To not forgive is to delay your healing. What an absolute reminder of that. For us all. Passion, Let's read passion. Heal. I live my life passionately. Identify and express your likes and dislikes, even if only to yourself. Always be true to yourself. If you deny your feelings and beliefs or bottle them up, they will only erupt later in inappropriate ways. Absolutely love that. And you know what? Speaking of which, so this coming Thursday, the 6th at 6 p.m. If you haven't seen the thumbnail, I am looking to go live. Hopefully this this video will be out before then. But you know, I'm trying to keep up with being consistent with you know, some of my well, all my videos, of course, but a little bit more, you know, consistent with posting weekly, and even and finding the motivation to, you know, to do that, because it's been a rough go for the last, like I said, 12-13 years. You have no idea. And you know, we all go through things, and we are all on different journeys, you know, so, you know, empathy and grace for, you know, those who've had a really rough go, you know, just, and patience. You know, I think it is my journey that led me to, you know, wanting to create this channel, to, you know, bring mental health practices and awareness to, you know, to the masses, because, you know, to have to walk this journey alone, especially when, you know, talking of mental health, you know, there's still a stigma attached to it, much like a lot of things, you know, and it leaves people in society, you know, feeling left behind, isolated, alone in their struggles and their challenges, you know, and that's how we get left behind and stuck in survival mode, you know. So, you know, bringing awareness and highlighting some of these struggles that, you know, various people and genetic makeups can go through, right? It's also allowing for that opportunity for us to be able to see other perspectives than our own, especially on this journey called life that, you know, we're all going through. And so that we can be mindful of how our interactions, you know, affect others, and therefore, you know, the return onto ourselves even, you know, and that can hinder us on our paths forward, that can, you know, you know, have negative karmic returns even, you know, and that can get stuck in our generational line and patterns of, you know, of low frequency karmic behavior. So, you know, we want to change all that as Mother Nature is purging. We want, you know, this new moon, we want to ground higher frequencies. But in order to do that, we have to clear our own karmic pasts. And learning how to do that with love and patience and integrity and understanding and acceptance of self and one another. So, yeah. So please, I hope that you will join me on Thursday or any other time that I choose to go live, and for us to come together to support one another in our various journeys, various perspectives. So and learn ways to better understand and manage our emotions, so that we can build a safer and loving community for all of us. So I hope that you enjoyed this video today, and will of course like, share, and subscribe. As I always say, I am love and so are you. As I see myself as human, when I look in the mirror, I know that when I look out into the world, I know that the other people that I see, including you, is human too, or are human too. So with all that being said, I hope that you will remember to take care of yourself and one another. And while you're at it, don't forget about me too. All the links, to if you want to reach out to me, or even if you are looking for, professional mental health services and support, please make sure to check out the description box. And of course, make sure that you're hitting that notification bell so you'll always be in the know when I post my next video. And also, don't forget that once I hit 333 subscribers, hopefully we will be able to, well, not hopefully, when we do, be able to launch that giveaway at 333 subscribers. The potential for 3 lucky subscribers to win a copy of the Thoughtful Journey tarot deck by TJ Malign, fellow Canadian and beloved friend. So if you haven't seen the interview and the walkthrough that I did of that deck, of the Thoughtful Journey, please check that out. It will be, of course, linked in the cards or down in the description box, as you know. And yeah, so I hope to see you on Thursday, November 6th, 2025. At 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, we will be talking about communication and how trauma can affect our communication styles, and how we can look at healing and bringing more mindfulness into our everyday lives. So with all that being said, thank you so, so much. As always, I love you. Please, until next time, always remember to check your privilege, mind your magic, and as always, live, listen, and learn. I love you. Bye, everybody.